if I woke up skinny fat tomorrow, here's exactly how I would eat to lose that belly fat, build more muscle, and build that lean athletic physique ASAP. And no, I'm definitely not gonna tell you to eat on a 1200 calorie diet or cut your carbs or like eat healthy foods and nothing like this. I'll actually give you the full step-by-step protocol that allows you to eat chocolate pretty much every single day without sacrificing your progress. So yeah, I like to keep this video nice and short and punchy so that you get the most amount of value in the least amount of time, because I know you're pretty much busy. So let's just get into step number one. All right, so step number one is that I would first reboot my metabolism. And you're probably asking, what do you mean by reboot your metabolism? Why should I do that? Or like, why can I just, cut calories? Like, well, why don't I just like lose the fat? It's really bothering me. Here's the explanation. So as a skinny fat man, you probably have not been eating the right way. You have probably been on this like bulk and cut cycle where you ate too much food, then realized you're getting fat, then you cut your calories too low, then you realize you're getting way too skinny. So you bulked again, cut again, bulked again, cut again for years probably. Or at least that's how it was for me, right? And so if you're doing this, your metabolism is pretty much all over the place. I wouldn't call it wrecked, but it's just not where it's supposed to be. So before we actually want to lose our fat and basically cut down on our calories, we need to get your maintenance calories. We need to get your metabolism sorted so that the maintenance calories are right where they are supposed to be. And so the way you can achieve this metabolic reboot is that you will eat at your maintenance for at least 3, or I would more likely recommend you 4 weeks before we even cut down. And so to calculate your maintenance calories, you can use this equation. That is your body weight in pounds times 14. That's it. So you want to take that maintenance calories and eat at that number for at least, as I said, 3 to 4 weeks, so you can reboot your metabolism and get your maintenance calories right where they're supposed to, so that when we cut down, we're actually cutting down. Step number 2, after those 3, but more ideally, as I said, 4 weeks, you want to drop down 300 calories. So if your maintenance calories were, let's say, 2,700, you want to cut down to 2,400. And to really explain why this happens is that we don't really want to go in a calorie deficit that is too strict. So we don't want to go into an extreme calorie deficit, because that would just burn you a lot of, and I mean a lot of muscle. And that's what we don't want, because if you're a skinny fat man especially, you need to build muscle and lose fat. So if you cut your calories way too low, we are sacrificing the fact that this deficit might eat into your muscle as well, and that would just honestly make your skinny fat problem a lot worse. So if you have tried these extreme deficits in the past, this is why it did not work. Just for the pure simple fact that it ate into your muscle more pretty much than it did into your fat. All right, now that you have your actual calorie deficit of like maintenance minus 300 sorted out, another thing, and this is step number 3, I want you to focus on is eating 1 gram of protein per pound of your body weight. So that is your body weight times 1. So let's say you weigh 180 pounds, you want to be eating 180 grams of protein every single day. And this is non-negotiable because it really connects to the lesson about eating up muscle that I've mentioned in the previous step. And that is the fact that if you don't eat enough protein, it will essentially just help you, ironically, lose more lose more muscle. And as you already know by now, you don't want that. So if you're a skinny fat guy, there's a huge chance that you can actually build muscle and lose fat at the same time, or at least keep that muscle. So at the worst, we are keeping that muscle, but at best, you're also building muscle while losing fat. And that is like the most ideal scenario. But as I said, you want to be focusing on, let's say, that minus 300 calorie deficit, while hitting this 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. And before I move on to step number 4, I think it's step number 4. Step number 4, I want to give you a word about, these high protein products like high protein snacks and high protein powders, high protein bars, high protein puddings, etc. So they're not, in and on itself, like, they're not like necessarily the devil or like demonic, like the devil. They're not what's like really hurting you or anything. But I would just recommend you to not rely on those foods as your main sources of protein. As a snack, I mean, they're completely cool, but I would definitely not make them my main source of protein. So let's say at the end of the day, you already are like this close to hitting your protein. If you're 180 pounds, you have, I don't know, 178, and you kind of like crave something little. You have a protein bar next to you, you kind of crave it, you want that chocolate, etc. Eat that. But don't eat that just to get your protein, if you know what I mean. Yes, that protein is okay, but the thing is, I read an article that literally said that your body can only absorb, I think it was 48%, I will pop the study up somewhere, that your body can simply absorb like 48% of the protein from those protein bars or protein powders, etc. So instead of relying on those, even though they're not like necessarily evil and devil, etc., you can still have them obviously, but as your main source of protein, I would just focus on whole, real foods like steak or chicken or Greek yogurt or cottage cheese or Parmesan cheese, eggs, egg whites, dairy, fish, etc. Those should be your main source of protein. You can also add legumes like beans and like etc. etc. But yeah, just focus on getting your main protein from whole, real foods. And if you want kind of like supplemented, that's why they're called supplemented with protein powder. That's really something you need to do or something you low-key crave, etc. But I just want to make those my main source of protein, if you get what I mean. And yeah, that's kind of like a really little warning I wanted to give you. And moving on to step number 4, get onto eating high volume, low calorie foods. Losing fat does not necessarily mean that you need to be eating less food. You can eat more food while eating less calories. For example, take a look at blueberries. Let's say I would have a huge bowl of blueberries right here. Frozen blueberries more exclusively, because that is just, whoa. Frozen blueberries, honestly, man, that is just a lifesaver. That whole big ass bowl of frozen blueberries could cost you around, let's say, 100 to, let's say, 250 calories at most. And it's a lot of food, right? It fills you up for, hours. But let's look at, let's say, walnuts. A little handful of walnuts, let's say 5 full whole nuts. Walnuts, yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Walnuts, not whole nuts. Let's say this whole, like, small handful of walnuts could be the same amount of calories or even more as the huge bowl of blueberries. I'll literally just give you the whole comparison picture right here. So this is 300 calories of walnuts and this is 300 calories of frozen blueberries. And it's just like mind-blowing. So focus on high volume, low calorie foods like this, and that way you can literally be eating more food while eating less calories, and that way losing more fat. And it's just a total lifesaver. And I honestly made a full list of a breakdown of these high volume, low calorie foods. So if you go down into the description, open up my Instagram and DM me volume, I will send you the whole list completely for free. And this, my man, is the full 4-step process of eating that I would personally use if I woke up yet tomorrow looking like this and I wanted to get into a physique like this. And I also wanted to give you a little word about cheat meals. So I want you to do one thing. Imagine the word cheat meals in your head. And then imagine yourself literally like setting that term on fire. I hate the word cheat meal because there is no food as a cheat food. I fucking hate that term, and it's so unhealthy mentally for guys like you, because I honestly had the worst, like mental problems around food, because I call every fucking thing cheat meal, cheap pizza is cheat meal, ice cream is cheat meal. It's not. I hate that term because you're not cheating on your diet. A pizza or an ice cream or a chocolate or a biscuit or a cookie, whatever, that can be a part of your diet. And that's why I fucking hate the term cheat meals, because that is not a cheat meal if it suits your macros for the day. If at the end of the day, you have hit your protein, it's 5 a.m., you have hit your protein, you are, as I said, you're at 180 grams of protein, and you only, let's say your deficit is 2,400, and you only ate 2,000 calories, you still have 400 calories that are basically spare, that are free to use. You already hit your protein, so why the fuck not enjoy 400 calories of chocolate or 400 calories of a huge potato chip bowl or like pizza, ice cream, whatever. Enjoy it. It's not a cheat meal. It is a part of a nice, sustainable diet. And I'm just sick and tired of hearing people talk about these foods as cheat meals or like bad meals or like bad foods. I hate that. There's no good and bad foods. They're just foods that hit your macros or suit your macros and foods that don't suit your macros. But there's nothing such as a bad or a good food. And I'm completely sick of that. So if, as I said, at the end of the day, you have some spare calories, you have hit your protein, go ahead and enjoy that. To this day, honestly, you can take a look at this picture. I'm having this huge Greek bowl with blueberries and some Lotus biscuits. I can enjoy that. And I'm so grateful that I have built out this better relationship with food because it helped me a lot. And I'm looking better while eating cookies. And it's just crazy. Like, this is me eating all clean diet, restricting myself, calling cheat meals, calling, junk food bad food. And this is me eating cookies every single day. It's just crazy, right? But once you understand this, once you understand the math behind this, because fitness is the numbers game. If you follow the right numbers, you can eat whatever the fuck you want. If you are below your maintenance, well, that is, right? So that's just kind of something I'm really passionate about. And this, my man, after me getting a bit passionate, is the whole magic. This is the whole 4-step process that I wanted to give you. And this is literally what I would do if I woke up skinny fat tomorrow and I wanted to build a lean athletic physique ASAP. But the thing is, honestly, that, eating like this in and on itself will do a lot of good for you, but you need to supplement it with good training, which is why I made a free training guide that basically breaks down exactly how to train, how many sets, what kind of workout, like a full training split, etc. Basically everything you need to have explained about training. I made this whole guide. It's a PDF. So if you go down into the description, you can click on my Instagram down there and really DM me the word training alongside with the word volume, and I'll send you both the high volume, low calorie food list plus my whole free training guide completely for free. So that being said, I don't want to waste any more of your time. I hope you find this valuable. If you did, drop me, follow on Instagram, subscribe me here. I've got a lot more value like this coming on real soon, and I'm really excited to share it because I know this can change bodies. This can change lives. So enough talking. I'll just wrap this up and yeah, peace out.